sample golden while the session opens with intention. Every rep a permanent and clear dimension of the warrior who chose to build instead of waste. Warm brass stabs beneath while the warrior creates. Something from the daily, something from the session. Golden era soul and brass, the permanent possession of a life that chose the iron, chose the morning, chose the grind. Warm brass and soul sample, the permanent reminder that the life worth living is the one the warrior builds. Golden era soul, the permanent fulfills the promise of the daily, of the consistent of the real. Warm brass stabs, the most important thing we feel. Chose the grind, chose the build, chose the grind. Every promise fulfilled, every chosen rep, every intentional mile. Chose the grind, worth every trial. Soul sample, dark, bright, stabs warm. Chose the grind through every storm. Choosing daily, choosing iron. Chose the grind, keeping the fire. Second chapter, brass arriving warm and intentional. Golden era soul, the permanent conventional. Wisdom of the warrior who always chooses building. Warm brass and soul sample, the permanent fulfilling of a life that the choice to grind permanently authors. Golden era soul while the warrior keeps on going farther than the comfortable, than the ordinary, than the settling. Warm brass and soul sample, the permanent and battling. You chose this. Every morning you choose again. The grind is a choice. The session is a choice. The iron is a choice. Choose it. Every day. Chose the grind. Chose the grind. Chose the build. Chose the grind. Every promise fulfilled. Every chosen rep. Every intentional mile. Chose the grind. Worth every trial. Soul sample, dark, bright, stab warm. Chose the grind through every storm. Choosing daily, choosing iron. Chose the grind, keeping the fire. Chose the grind. Chose the build. Chosen. Yeah. Soul sample triumphant while this session opens with the real. Every rep a permanent reminder of the deal between the warrior and the iron, between the daily and the result. Triumphant brass beneath the permanent catapult. From the ordinary into something built and earned. Golden soul and brass, the permanent learned. Experience of showing up and building through the session. Triumphant soul and brass, the permanent possession of a life that belongs to the warrior who chose the daily. Triumphant soul and brass, and the warrior builds greatly on the permanent foundation of the showing up regardless. Triumphant soul and brass, the permanent starkness. It belongs to me. It belongs to you. It belongs to me. We earn it through every honest rep, every earned mile. Belongs to me, worth every trial. Soul sample dark, arriving warm. It belongs to me. Through every storm, earning daily, claiming real. It belongs to me. Starting to feel. Second chapter, brass arriving warm and triumphant. Triumphant soul sample underneath the permanent abundant. Confirmation that the earn belongs to the warrior who earned it. Golden soul and brass, the permanent learning it. Through the daily, through the session, through the iron commitment. Triumphant soul and brass, the permanent shipment of a life that belongs completely to the warrior who builds it. Golden soul and brass, the permanent fulfills it. Nobody can take what you earn. The sessions are yours, the reps are yours, the building is yours. It belongs to you. Earn it every morning. It belongs to you. It belongs reminder of the reasoning, the how behind the showing up behind the choosing iron daily. Dark scent beneath while the warrior builds greatly on the foundation of the consistent of the permanent routine. Every morning, every session, the permanent machine of discipline replacing motivation when it leaves. Electronic stabs and iron through the daily greaves of every comfortable option passed on for the session. Every brutal morning, every rep the permanent possession. One more rep, one more set, one more rep, not done yet. Every grinding morning, every mile, one more rep, worth earth every trial. Since dark stabs arrive, one more rep, keeping us alive. Pushing past the limit, one more rep, everything in it. Second session, the electronic stabs arriving sharper. Every one more rep, making everything go harder than the version from the week before, the month before, the year. One more rep, the permanent frontier of a warrior who always finds one more inside the session. Electronic stabs denying the permanent lesson. That one more rep is always there if you decide to look. One more rep, the permanent open book. One more. That is all, not the whole journey. Not forever. Just one more rep. Violin arriving cold while the session opens real. Every single rep a permanent reminder how we feel. When the eye meets the intention, when the morning meets the grind. Dark violin beneath while the warrior redesigns. Every broken version, every season, every wound, into the fuel required for the session and the tune of a life being built through the painful in the daily. Dark violin and warm strings, and the warrior builds greatly. Built from pain, built from real, built from pain, starting to heal. Every painful rep, every honest mile, built from pain, worth every trial. Violent chord strings, beginning swell, built from pain, rising from the shell, healing through the iron daily. Built from pain, never failing. Second session, violent, warming underneath the grind. Every healing rep, a building block inside the mind. Is something permanent, is something worth the early morning. Dark violin and warm strings without any warning, delivering the proof that pain produces permanent building. Violin and strings and iron, the permanent fulfilling of a promise that the painful seasons always kept. Built from pain, the permanent depth. The pain was not wasted, the pain was the material. Every difficult season built something permanent. Built from pain, built to last. Built from pain, built from real, built from pain, starting to heal. Every painful rep, every honest mile, built from pain, worth every trial. Violent cold strings, beginning swell, built from pain, rising from the shell, healing through the iron daily. Built from pain, never failing. Built from pain, built from pain, built from real, built from real, yeah, built from real. The warrior shows up. Nothing like it. Yeah, piano arriving while the warrior takes position. Every session, every rep a deliberate decision to show up with intention to bring everything today. Kettle drums and strings while the warrior finds the way through every rep, through every set, through every brutal morning. cinematic orchestra arriving without warning, building underneath the session, building underneath the iron piano with strings, while the warrior keeps on trying to become the version that the daily session promises. Haunted piano, kettle drums, the permanent bonuses of a life lived through the session of a day begun with iron piano and strings, the permanent horizon. The warrior shows up, the warrior builds, the warrior shows up, every promise fulfilled, every epic rep, every beat to remind. The warrior shows up, worth every trial, piano haunting strings arrive. The warrior shows up, keeping us alive, building daily, building every. The warrior shows up, nothing like it. Second act the orchestra, increasing all its pressure. Every session adding something that cannot be measured. In the conventional, in the comfortable, in the ordinary, haunting piano in the permanent glossary of everything. The warrior builds through daily iron sessions, kettle drums and strings, delivering the permanent lessons. That the warrior who shows up is the warrior who builds, piano and strings, the permanent fulfills. The warrior does not wait, the warrior shows up every morning regardless, because that is what warriors do. They show up! The warrior shows up, the warrior builds, the warrior shows up, every promise fulfilled, every pep, every featuring mile. The warrior shows up, worth every trial, piano haunting strings arrive. The warrior shows up, keeping us alive, building daily, building every. The warrior shows up, nothing like it. The warrior shows up. The warrior builds, built. Aggressive, sin dark, while the session up is brutal. Every single comfortable excuse getting futile. Against the weight, against the will, against the daily standard. Metallic stabs beneath the permanent answer to every reason not to show up, not to load the bar. Aggressive, synth and iron, reminded who we are when we strip away the excuse, when we strip away the feeling. Metallic stabs and iron, the permanent revealing of a warrior who shows up when they're showing up his hardest. Aggressive, synth, the permanent starkest. Truth about what builds a life worth living, what the building. Metallic stabs and iron, the permanent fulfilling. Strip it back, strip it down, strip it back to the crowd. Every bad rap, every strip mile. Strip it back, worth every trial. Sick dark, metallic stabs, cool. Strip it back, every story told. No excuses, no reasons. Strip it back through all seasons. Second session, metallic stabs arriving brutal and bare. Aggressive synth beneath the permanent aware. Warrior who strips away everything unnecessary. Metallic stabs and aggressive synth, the permanent glossary of what remains when the excuse get permanently removed. Aggressive synth and iron, the permanent groove. Path of the warrior who shows up stripped of every reason. Metallic stabs through every brutal season. Strip away the excuse, strip away the feeling, strip away the reason not to. What remains? Warrior and the bar. Strip it back every session. Strip it back, strip it down, strip it back to the crowd. Every bad rep, every strip mile. Strip it back, worth every trial. Dark metallic stabs, cool. Strip it back, every story told. No excuses, no reasons. Strip it back through all seasons. Strip it back. Strip it back. Notes. Notes. Yeah. Hungry soul sample. Yeah. Yeah. Hungry soul sample while the session opens, cold and honest. Every rep a payment on the permanent promise of a warrior who stays hungry past the comfortable arriving. Dark soul sample and horn stabs, the permanent thriving of a hunger that the session in the iron keep alive. Every brutal morning, every rep the permanent drive of someone who refuses to be satisfied with current. Dark soul sample and horn stabs, the permanent current of hunger running through the session, through the daily grind. Hungry soul sample and horn stabs, sharpening the mind, past the ordinary, past the comfortable, past the enough. Dark soul and horn stabs, the permanent tough standard of the warrior who stays hungry through the building. Hungry soul sample and horn stabs, the permanent fulfilling. Stay hungry, stay building. Stay hungry, stay fulfilling. Every hungry rep, every starving mile. Stay hungry, worth every trial. Soul sample, dark horn stabs arise. Stay hungry, keeping us alive. Hungry daily, hungry honest. Stay hungry, keep the promise. Second session, horn stabs, building hungry one beneath every starving rep, delivering another wreath of confirmation that the hunger is the permanent advantage. Dark soul sample and horn stabs, the permanent bandage over every wound, the satisfaction over every comfortable plateau. Hungry soul and horn stabs, the permanent flow of a warrior who never once accepts the hunger leaving. Dark soul sample and iron, the permanent believing. The hunger is the edge. Lose the hunger, lose the edge. Stay hungry, past the comfortable, past the satisfied, past the enough. Stay hungry, always. Stay hungry, stay building. Stay hungry, stay fulfilling. Every hungry rep, every starving mile. Stay hungry, worth every trial. Soul sample, dark horn stabs arise. Stay hungry, keeping us alive. Hungry daily, hungry honest. Stay hungry, keep the promise. Stay hungry, stay building. Hungry. Piano arriving dark while the rising session opens. Every single version of the self left unspoken is the potential waiting for the daily iron session. Kettle drums and strings delivering the permanent lesson that the rising happens through the daily, through the showing. Dark emotional piano while the rising keeps on growing. Through every rep, through every set, through every brutal morning. Cinematic strings and iron without any warning. Delivering the rising, the permanent ascending of a warrior whose daily session is the permanent bending of the arc toward something higher, toward the permanent arrival. Piano and strings, the permanent survival. Rising, rising, every single day. Rising, rising, finding every way. Every ascending rep, every rising mile. Rising, rising, worth every trial. Piano, dark strings, beginning swell. Rising, rising, climbing out of shell. Rising, through the session. Rising, learning every lesson. Second act, the orchestra arriving with the rising force. Dark emotional piano while the warrior stays the course of the permanent rising of the daily elevation. Kettle drums and strings, the permanent foundation of a warrior who rises through the daily iron session. Dark piano and strings delivering the permanent lesson that the rising is the daily, not the single breakthrough moment. Piano and strings, the permanent component. Rise every day, not once, not dramatically. Every single morning, one rep higher, one session stronger. Rising every day, rising, rising every single day. Rising, rising, finding every way. Every ascending rep, every rising mile. Rising, rising, worth every trial. Piano, dark strings, beginning swell. Rising, rising, climbing out of shell. every lesson. Rising, 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 rising every day. Every rep a statement, both consistent and prominent. About the stand, about the daily, about the permanent intention. Brass stabs arriving sharp, the permanent dimension of a warrior who brings the best to every session daily. Or this sample in brass, and the war rebuilds greatly on the permanent foundation of the consistent standard it raised. Every brutal morning, every rep the permanent praise. Work of a warrior who never dips below their standard. Brass stabs and orchestras will sample the permanent answer to what separates the builders from the almost builders daily. Brass and orchestral strings in the warrior.
Never failing, every standard rep.
Every consistent mile, hold the standard. Worth every trial, push through dark clouds. Stabs warm, hold the standard. Through every storm, raising daily, hold it real. Hold the standard. Starting to feel. Second chapter, brass arriving harder, orchestral deeper. Every standard holding rep, making the warrior a keeper of the level of the daily, of the permanent commitment. Or system structure, the permanent shipment of discipline from the session to the life to the standard. Brass stabs and orchestral strings, a permanent answer that the held standard builds more than the inconsistent trying. Proper start with the permanent supplying.
Hold the standard.
On the good days,
On the good days.
on the hard days,
On the hard days.
on the days when nothing feels right.
Hold the standard.
The standard,
Hold the standard.
the standard is the warrior. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold the standard,
Hold it daily.
hold the standard.
Never failing, every standard rep.
Every consistent mile, hold the standard. Words every trial, off the block, brass stabs warm, hold the standard. Through every storm, raising daily, holding real.
Hold the standard.
Starting to feel, hold the standard. Hold the standard.
Hold the standard. Hold it daily.
Hell. Commitments in dark while the session opens with devotion. Every rep a drop inside the permanent ocean of commitment, building daily, building weekly, building monthly. Aggressive stabs beneath while the warrior keeps the country of the session of the iron under permanent governance of commitment built from nothing into permanent prominence. Every rep adds to the commitment, every session feeds the engine. Commitment sent an aggressive stabs the permanent beginning of a force that only grows through daily recommitting. Dark commitment since the permanent permitting of a warrior who renews the vow each morning to the iron. Aggressive stabs and commitment since keeping the desire. Committed daily, committed real. Committed daily, that is the deal. Every committed rep, every devoted mile. Committed daily, worth every trial. Commitments in dark stabs cold. Committed daily, every story told. Showing up devoted, showing up daily. Committed daily, never fail. A second session, aggressive steps arriving, commitment deeper. Every devoted rep, making the warrior a keeper of the promise of the daily, of the morning renewed vow. Commitment sent an aggressive stabs the permanent. How behind the building, behind the standard, behind a life being constructed. Dark commitment sent the permanent, instructed body and the mind to recommit each morning to the session. Aggressive stabs and commitment sent the permanent lesson. We commit every morning, not just once, not just when it is exciting. Every morning we commit to the session, to the iron, to the building. Committed daily, committed daily, committed real. Committed daily, that is the deal. Every committed rep, every devoted mile. Committed daily, worth every trial. Commitment set dark stabs cold. Committed daily, every story told. Showing up devoted, showing up daily. Committed daily, never failing. Committed daily. Committed daily. Committed daily. sample triumphant while the session opens with the real. Every rep a permanent reminder of the deal between the warrior and the iron, between the daily and the result. Triumphant brass beneath the permanent catapult from the ordinary into something built and earned. Golden soul and brass, the permanent learn. Experience of showing up and building through the session. Triumphant soul and brass, the permanent possession of a life that belongs to the warrior who chose the daily. Triumphant soul and brass, and the warrior builds greatly on the permanent foundation of the showing up regardless. Triumphant soul and brass, the permanent starkness. It belongs to me, it belongs to you, it belongs to me. We earn it through every honest rep, every earned mile. It belongs to me, worth every trial. So simple, dark grace, arriving warm. It belongs to me through every storm, earning daily, claiming real. It belongs to me, starting the field. Second chapter, brass arriving warm and triumphant. Triumphant soul sample underneath the permanent abundant. Confirmation that the earn belongs to the warrior who earned it. Golden soul and brass, the permanent learned it. Through the daily, through the session, through the iron commitment. Triumphant soul and brass, the permanent shipment of a life that belongs completely to the warrior who builds it. Golden soul and brass, the permanent fulfills it. Nobody can take what you earn. The sessions are yours, the reps are yours, the building is yours. It belongs to you. Earn it every morning. It belongs to you. It belongs to me. It belongs to you. It belongs to me. We earn it through every honest rep, every earned mile. It belongs to me. Work every trial. Soul sample, dark brace, arriving warm. It belongs to me through every storm, earning daily, claiming real. It belongs to me, starting to feel. It belongs to me. It belongs to you.
Yeah. One more. Go. Go.
Bar loaded, mind focus session starts right now. Every rep a reminder of the reason and the how. Behind the showing up, behind the choosing iron daily. Dark sit beneath while the warrior builds greatly on the foundation of the consistent of the permanent routine. Every morning, every session, the permanent machine of discipline replacing motivation when it leaves. Electronic stabs and iron through the daily grieves of every comfortable option passed on for the session. Every brutal morning, every rep the permanent possession.
One more rep, one more set, one more rep, not done yet.
Every grinding morning, every mile,
One more rep,
worth every trial.
send dark, the stabs arrive. One more rep, keeping us alive.
Pushing past the limit,
One more rep,
everything in it. Second session, the electronic stabs arriving sharper. Every one more rep, making everything go harder than the version from the week before, the month before, the year. One more rep, the permanent frontier of a warrior who always finds one more inside the session. Electronic stabs and iron, a permanent lesson. That one more rep is always there if you decide to look. One more rep, the permanent open book.
one more. That is all. Not the whole journey, not forever. Just one more rep. Find it every session. One more. One more set. One more rep. Not done yet.
Every grinding morning, every mile,
One more rep.
worth every trial.
Dark stabs arrive. One more rep, keeping us alive.
Pushing past the limit,
One more rep.
everything in it.
One more rep. One more rep. One more rep. Done.
Violin arriving, cold while this session opens real. Every single rep a permanent reminder how we feel. When the army see intention, when the morning meets the grind. Dark violin beneath while the warrior redesigns every broken version, every season, every wound. Into the fuel required for the session in the tomb of a life being built through the painful and the daily. Dark violin and warm strings, and the warrior builds greatly. Built from pain, built from real, built from pain, starting to heal. Every painful rap, every honest mile. Built from pain, worth every trial. Violently cold strings beginning swell. Built from pain, rising from the shell. Healing through the iron daily. Built from pain, never failing. Second session violin, warming underneath the grind. Every healing rap a building block inside the mind. Is something permanent, is something worth the early morning. Dark violin and warm strings without any warning. Delivering the proof that pain produces permanent building. Violin and strings and iron, the permanent fulfilling of a promise that the painful seasons always kept. Built from pain, the permanent depth. The pain was not wasted, the pain was the material. Every difficult season, built something permanent. Built from pain, built to last. Built from pain, built from real, built from pain, starting to heal. Every painful rap, every honest smile. Built from pain, worth every trial. Violent cold strings beginning swell. Built from pain, rising from the shell. Healing through the iron daily. Built from pain, never failing. Built from pain. The warrior shows up. The warrior shows up. Yeah. Piano arriving while the warrior takes position. Every session, every rapper deliver a decision to show up with intention to bring everything today. Kettle drums and strings while the warrior finds the way. Through every rap, through every set, through every brutal morning. Cinematic orchestra arriving without warning. Building underneath the session, building underneath the iron. Piano and strings while the warrior keeps on trying to become the version that the daily session promises. Horn and piano, kettle drums are permanent bonuses of a life lived through the session of the day. Begun with iron, piano and strings, the permanent horizon. The warrior shows up, the warrior builds. The warrior shows up, every promise fulfilled. Every epic rap, every baby a mile. The warrior shows up, worth every trial. Piano, horn and strings arrive. The warrior shows up, keeping us alive. Building daily, building epic. The warrior shows up, nothing like it. Second act, the orchestra increasing all its pressure. Every session adding something that cannot be measured. In the conventional, in the comfortable, in the ordinary. Horn and piano in the permanent glossary of everything the warrior builds. Through daily iron sessions, kettle drums and strings, delivering the permanent lessons that the warrior who shows up is the warrior who builds. Piano and strings, the permanent fulfills. The warrior does not wait, the warrior shows up every morning, regardless, because that is what warriors do. They show up. The warrior shows up, the warrior builds. The warrior shows up, every promise fulfilled. Every epic track, every day being mild. The warrior shows up, worth every trial. Piano, horn and strings arrive. The warrior shows up, keeping us alive. Building daily, building epic. The warrior shows up, nothing like it. The warrior shows up. The warrior shows up. Built stabs, arriving brutal and bare. Aggressive sin beneath the permanent aware. Warrior who strips away everything unnecessary. Metallic stabs and aggressive synth, the permanent glossary of what remains when the excuse gets permanently removed. Aggressive synth and I in the permanent groove. Path of the warrior who shows up stripped of every reason. Metallic stabs through every brutal season.
Strip away the excuse. Strip away the feeling. Strip away the reason not to. What remains?
The warrior and the bar. Strip it back. Every session. Strip it back, strip it down, strip it back. Feel the crown. Every bare rep, every strip mile. Strip it back. Work every trial.
Send dark metallic stabs cold. Strip it back, every story told.
No excuses, no reasons.
Strip it back
Through all seasons.
Strip it back. Strip it back. Yeah. Yeah.
Chose the grind. Chose the grind. Soul sample golden while the session opens with intention. Every rep a permanent and clear dimension of the warrior who chose to build instead of wait. Warm brass stabs beneath while the warrior creates. Something from the daily, something from the session. Golden era soul and brass, the permanent possession of a life that chose the iron, chose the morning, chose the grind. Warm brass and soul sample, the permanent reminder that the life worth living is the one the warrior builds. Golden era soul, the permanent fulfills the promise of the daily, of the consistent, of the real. Warm brass stabs, the most important thing we feel.
Chose the grind, chose the build.
Chose the grind, every promise fulfilled, every chosen rep, every intentional mile.
Chose the grind, worth every trial.
Soul sample, dark bad,
Stabs warm
chose the grind.
through every storm.
Choosing daily, choosing iron.
Chose the grind, keeping the fire.
Second chapter, brass arriving warm and intentional. Golden era soul, the permanent conventional. Wisdom of the warrior who always chooses building. Warm brass and soul sample, the permanent fulfilling of a life that the choice to grind permanently authors. Golden era soul, while the warrior keeps on going farther than the comfortable, than the ordinary, than the settling. Warm brass and soul sample, the permanent and battling. You chose this. Every morning you choose again. The grind is a choice. The session is a choice. The iron is a choice. Choose it. Every day. Chose the grind.
Chose the grind, chose the build.
Chose the grind. Every promise fulfilled. Every chosen rep. Every intentional mile.
Chose the grind, worth every trial.
Soul sample.
Dark,
Stabs warm. Chose the grind.
through every storm.
Choosing daily. Choosing iron.
Chose the grind, keeping the fire. Chose the grind,
Chose the grind.
chose the grind, chose the build, chose the build. Yeah. Hungry. Hungry soul sample while the session opens cold and honest. Every rep a payment on the permanent promise of a warrior who stays hungry past the comfortable, arriving. Dark soul sample and horn stabs, the permanent thriving. Never hungered at the session and the iron keep alive. Every brutal morning, every rep the permanent drive. But someone who refuses to be satisfied with current. Dark soul sample and horn stabs, the permanent current of hunger running through the session, through the daily grind. Hungry soul sample and horn stab, sharpening the mind. Past the ordinary, past the comfortable, past the enough. Dark sample, and horn stabs, the permanent fulfilling. Stay hungry, stay building, stay hungry, stay fulfilling. Every hungry rep, every starving mile. Stay hungry, worth every trial. Soul sample, dark horn stabs arrive. Stay hungry, keeping us alive. Hungry daily, hungry honest. Stay hungry. Keep the promise. Second session, horn stabs, building hungry one beneath. Every starving rep delivering another wreath of confirmation that the hunger is the permanent advantage. Dark soul sample and horn stabs, the permanent bandage. Over every wound of satisfaction, over every comfortable plateau. Hungry soul and horn stabs, the permanent flow of a warrior who never once accepts the hunger leaving. Dark soul sample and iron, the permanent believing. The hunger's the edge. Lose the hunger, lose the edge. Stay hungry, past the comfortables, past the satisfied, past the enough. Stay hungry, always. Stay hungry, stay building, stay hungry, stay fulfilling. Every hungry rep, every starving mile. Stay hungry, worth every trial. Soul sample, dark horn stabs arrive. Stay hungry, keeping us alive. Hungry daily, hungry honest. Stay hungry. Keep the promise. Stay hungry, 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 hungry. Stay hungry, 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 hungry. Stay hungry, 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 hungry. Hungry. Every rep a statement, both consistent and prominent. About the standard, about the daily, about the permanent intention. Brass stabs arriving sharp, the permanent dimension of a warrior who brings the best to every session daily. Orchestral sample and brass, and the warrior builds greatly on the permanent foundation of the consistent standard ways. Raised every brutal morning, every rep the permanent praise. Work of a warrior who never dips below the standard. Brass stabs and orchestral sample, the permanent answer to what separates the builders from the almost builders daily. Brass and orchestral strings, and the warrior builds greatly. Hold the standard. Every consistent mile. Hold the standard. Work every trial. Hold the standard. Stab swarm. Hold the standard. Every storm raising daily. Hold the standard. Second chapter, brass arriving harder, orchestral deeper. Every standard holding rep, making the warrior a keeper of the level of the daily, of the permanent commitment. Orchestral sample and brass, a permanent shipment of discipline. From the session to the life to the standard. Brass stabs and orchestral strings, the permanent answer that the hell standard builds more than the inconsistent trying. Orchestral sample and brass, the permanent supplying.
Hold the standard.
Yeah, on the good days, on the hard days, on the days when nothing feels right.
Hold the standard.
The standard is the warrior. Hold the standard.
Hold it daily.
Hold the standard.
Never failing.
Every standard. Every good consistent mind. Hold the standard. Work every trial. Hold the standard.
God stands.
Stabs war. Hold the standard.
You
Every storm raising daily.
holding real.
Hold the standard.
Starting to feel.
rising session opens. Every single version of the self left unspoken is the potential waiting for the daily iron session. Kettle drums and strings delivering the permanent lesson that the rising happens through the daily, through the show, and dark emotional piano while the rising keeps on growing through every rep, through every set, through every brutal morning. Cinematic strings and iron without enemy warning, delivering the rising, the permanent ascending of a warrior whose daily session is the permanent bending of the arc to something higher, toward the permanent arrival. Piano and strings, the permanent survival.
Rising, rising,
Every single day,
rising, rising,
finding every way,
every ascending rep, every rising mile, rising, rising word, every trial,
piano, dark strings beginning swell,
rising, rising, climbing out a shell,
rising through the session,
rising, rising,
learning
every lesson.
Arriving with the rising force, dark emotional piano while the warrior stays the course of the permanent rising of the daily elevation. Kettle drums and strings, the permanent foundation of a warrior who rises through the daily iron session. Dark piano and strings delivering the permanent lesson that the rising is the daily, not the single breakthrough moment. Piano and strings, the permanent component.
Rise every day, not once, not dramatically. Every single morning, one rep higher, one session stronger. Rising every day,
Rising, rising, every single day,
rising, rising,
finding every way, every ascending rep, every rising mile,
rising, rising word,
every trial, piano, dark strings beginning swell, rising, rising, climbing out a shell,
rising through the session, rising, rising, learning every lesson. Rising, rising, every day. Rising.
Yeah. Commitment stays dark while the session opens with devotion. Every rep a drop inside the permanent ocean of commitment. Building daily, building weekly, building monthly. Aggressive stabs beneath while the warrior keeps the country of the session of the iron under permanent governance of commitment. Built from nothing into permanent prominence. Every rep adds to the commitment. Every session feeds the engine. Commitment sent in aggressive stabs the permanent beginning of a force that only grows through daily recommitting. Dark commitments into permanent permitting of a warrior who renews the vow each morning to the iron. Aggressive stabs and commitments and keeping the desire.
Committed daily, committed real, committed daily, that is the deal. Every committed rep, every devoted mile, committed daily, worth every trial. Commitments in dark, steps cold, committed daily, every story told. Showing up devoted, showing up daily, committed daily, never failing.
Second session, aggressive stabs arriving, commitment deeper. Every devoted rep making the warrior a keeper of the promise of the daily of the morning. Renewed vow, commitment sent an aggressive stab, the permanent how. Behind the building, behind the standard, behind the life being constructed. Dark commitment sent the permanent instructed body in the mind of recommit each morning to the session. Aggressive stabs and commitment sent the permanent lesson.
We commit every morning,
Not just once, not just when it is exciting.
every morning.
Recommit to the session, to the iron, to the building. Committed daily,
Committed daily, committed real, committed daily, that is the deal.